Stevenator and Tybo getting this first match started off right here, ready to at least start a record with them if they don't already have one. And this is going to be the first game of losers quarterfinals.
In this game on Thunder Guard, a somewhat rare map. We don't see it too much. We used to see it almost all the time. Stevenator gets the big early gap. I thought Lil Cap was going to be able to get under, and virtually no damage was dealt except for onto Lil Cap there. Steve and Tybo have not been hit.
I mean, that's the thing with Steve, though, is like he'll go right in on an opponent, force them off stage, and chase them down until they're gone. And, you know, in that moment, Lil Cap, bumping his head. That is 2 stocks off of Lil Cap. Within 30 seconds, one on his own accord and one not, and that is really unfortunate for this blue team. A very bad way to start. Lil Cap really has to extend himself, kind of like how Joke Down did at the end of, or during the entirety of that last matchup we saw. Stevenator doing such a good job.
Did you see the coordinated neutral lights? Tybo was like 2 jump heights up. He gravity canceled it to the left. Stevenator was on the stage, hit them just regular neutral light to the right. That's synergy right there, ladies and gentlemen.
They're looking real on point right now, and Tybo getting a lot of damage onto Lil Cap, onto Phazon. Lil Cap approaching red very quickly. Phazon barely in the yellow. Lil Cap still able to make this stock work. He did find a kill on the Stevenator. Tybo still holding on to his own, and Phazon trying to make something work, help out his teammate Lil Cap, but he's having a little bit of trouble following up on the Tybo. His movement is just on point. He's getting these reads, and this is hard to come back from. Lil Cap is already in the red and being pressured off stage.
It took a minute and a half for the blue team to take 1 stock off of red team. Lil Cap lost 2 stocks in 30 seconds.
Yep. Stevenator and Tybo both holding the corner of the weapon throw. That's going to finish off Lil Cap. No! Phazon with the save. Lil Cap did end up touching the wall. Reset his jumps a little bit, and Tybo, he's finally getting pressured off stage. He's in the red stock on his last stock. He's dodging the weapon throw, still getting the recovery onto Lil Cap. Phazon trying to make something work. The side stick coming out, getting caught by the recovery uppercut, and Stevenator trying to find his way back. He knows he cannot just go for that wall. Phazon was hovering that push-off column, waiting for that touch.
Oh, Lil Cap has the dodge in time. You saw him waiting. He didn't want to tunnel vision straight to the wall as fast as possible, but Stevenator is going to fall. And now, honestly, the stocks are even, which is pretty crazy that Lil Cap has been able to survive this long, that clash. Is he going to live? He is not. Lil Cap is out. Not unwinnable, though, for Phazon. He does have 2 stocks compared to the red team's 3. That black hole doesn't result in too much damage, but it's going to be the final active frames with the backside of that swing all the way at the bottom, spiking Phazon directly down. Now, this is going to be tough.
Tybo and Steve holding that corner. Phazon, they're looking for that black hole, starting it up. Tybo gets a little bit too trigger happy and goes for that side air just a split second too early. Phazon now, going for that modified Russian Mafia combo, but Phazon getting a nice turnaround and weapon throw, but Tybo does have the dodge to get back to stage. That was all he had left, though. If he did not have that distance, Stevenator would have needed to try to save him there, because that is, I was going to say that's Tybo's last stock, but that's not true.
Yeah, Phazon and Tybo right now are matched in health, but they are not matched in stocks. Tybo still has 2 to his name, Stevenator has 1 to his name, and Phazon is in kill percent on his last stock.
Ooh, a neutral stick coming out. Getting the down air weapon throw. Phazon getting his way back. Oh, going for the ground pound, trying to find the spike. For a second, I thought he was suiciding.
Good coverage there, though, from Tybo and Stevenator with the weapon tosses, with that ground pound follow-up. Phazon was still able to get around it. There was the recovery from Steve. It's going to be the down air. That's the scoop to the sky.
Something simple as that. Once your opponent gets into the damage range, just looking for a nice float above scoop, just like this. You see Steve looking for the scoop. The reverse scoop coming in any second now. There it is.
There it is. And notice that Steve turned around to do it. You initially scooped from the back side of that, so the first hitboxes come out on the initial frames from behind you.
There's very little room in front where it even picks up, so you always want to turn around and reverse that down air in order to find that hitbox zone. That's going to be essential, and Stevenator knows exactly all about that, so him pulling that out right there, finding that kill, that was perfect.
Now, we aren't seeing Phazon go over to the Lucian that we saw before.
Well, he was looking pretty comfortable. I'd say the only thing that Lil Cap and Phazon didn't really have going for them at all was the amount of time that they were holding on to stocks in the beginning. They were able to turn the game right around the midway mark of the match. Lil Cap held on to that last stock forever. And Phazon extended his stocks out to a pretty average amount, I would say. Doing a pretty good job holding on to their own. Stevenator and Tybo. I think going into this, if they're going to be a little bit more successful in the later stages of the matches, they're going to have to be more successful with their kill options. And that is going to be their biggest trouble moving in. Of course,
stage banning is coming through. We have Great Hall, Shipwreck Falls, and Small Enigma still on the board. Thinking very, very hard about this. It is going to be Great Hall. One of the few times that we've seen Great Hall today.
All right, we're getting started here. Stevenator and Tybo getting ready to face off one more time against Phazon and Lil Cap. Lil Cap and Phazon, of course, need a win here to force game number 3 and get that chance to move on into the losers semifinals. And honestly, I think they can push that game 3. What about you?
I absolutely believe they can go for that game 3. You gotta have confidence in Phazon and Lil Cap. They've definitely had a strong showing throughout this entire weekend. Fortunately, Phazon didn't get to play yesterday. I believe he was winning a Scrabble tournament. But obviously, he's a Bobby Big Brain with those big Scrabble words there.
Definitely 100% the Scrabble tournament winner. At least if they're not going to win the 2v2s today, he comes off with a W and somewhere else at the very least. That's a successful weekend if you ask me. And Stevenator now with Tybo facing off against the Scrabble champion of wherever it was.
No clue what city per se, but he's a veritable Renaissance man. You can see over on the right side going for the edge guard, but the double team, that red just wall coming down towards Phazon, no longer a doctor, trying to finish off that stock. So far, only Tybo, the one to lose a stock.
Lil Cap now with the hammer doing some good work onto Tybo, forcing that game, turning right around, getting the stomp side air onto Stevenator. Phazon looking for the follow-up on Tybo, but not able to find it. There's the neutral light, the throw pressure. Phazon looking for the ground pound, finds it on the bottom. That is going to be a huge kill. Tybo on his last stock now. We're seeing a complete reversal from what we saw in the first game, where it was instead Lil Cap who lost his first 2 stocks super early.
Blue team very much in the driver's seat here. We do see the double neutral lights into the neutral sig attempt. Tybo not able to connect, but he does get the ground pound, able to deny the 6 stock at the very least, but he's getting some solid juggling here. 3 neutral layers of recovery, 1 more attempt. Phazon able to get past both red team members, get back down, pick up a sword, and continue on with his stock.
That was insane team synergy between them. Tybo was starting to juggle. Stevenator immediately went into the sky to try to follow up, find that kill in either the recovery. Didn't find it, but he was right there, and that's something to be commended. Tybo looking for the ground pound kill, able to find the recovery to at least get back to stage at that point. Being below Phazon with a sword, the ground pound, the down airs, that can be extremely dangerous. Finding the kill on the Phazon, that's going to be Lil Cap, unfortunately, with the team kill. A little bit of an accident there, but now Stevenator, he's going to have to move in, assist Tybo as Lil Cap turns that pressure around. Stevenator on his last stock now. That's 2 stocks, or 2 stocks down from the blue team against the red team.
Red team is kind of in trouble right now. They need to refocus, go back to what they were doing in game 1, or at the very least start thinking about what they're going to be doing in game 3. Keep in mind, this is the lower bracket. There are no more attempts after this game 3. So Tybo and Steve really need to just figure out what they can do, what can they can learn from this game and bring into the game 3 potential. Nice gravity cancel neutral sig though.
It's that at the very least, but it looks like they won't have to think about that just yet. The possibility is still there. Tybo just needs to extend himself a little bit more, survive maybe a minute more, but it's not even going to happen. Phazon with that pressure, the slide kick into the ground pound. Huge plays coming out from him, securing that kill on Tybo, and Stevenator all by himself. The black hole, they're trying to get it, but the 2 neutral lights at the same time, that's not quite how you start it.
Gotta stagger him a little bit, but still solid attempt for the follow-ups. We do see Steve swapping over to the hammer. We saw earlier today, Chetero was able to do some absolute work with the hammer in the 2v1. Steve trying to do some similar stuff. There was a lot of that downlight into that chase dodge recovery. If he gets him over the edge, he can go for that immediate ground pound, that weapon toss, but it doesn't matter, as Lil Cap does hit that side sig just underneath Stevenator, and we're going to a game 3.
It's exactly what I was talking about at the beginning. I think like Lil Cap, Phazon, they just found that rhythm that they needed in the beginning, put a huge amount of pressure onto the red team. Stevenator, Tybo got Tybo into the same position that Lil Cap was in, and Tybo just couldn't do the same job as Lil Cap, extending that stock out as much as possible that Lil Cap was able to take advantage of in game number 1. Now game number 3, they're under a lot of pressure, both teams are, to move on to that next round. This is do or die for them, elimination on the line.
Maps getting banned out now. It looks like Small Brawlhalla and Thunderguard are still on the board. Lil Captain Phazon trying to decide if they want to play a little bit more of an edge guard centric game, or if maybe they want something with more solid ground, maybe something like Small Brawlhalla. Just talking it out between the two of them. Which map do you think they should go to?
I kind of wanted to see Brawlhalla because with the Val pick, with the Bodvar pick, they've got a lot of range to cover with those signatures. The Hammer as well has a lot of kill potential in that early game as well because of how close those blast zones are. I would have liked to see it go there, but instead it's going to be a very big map this time around at Thunderguard Stadium.
Big pickup from Phazon with that neutral signature onto both red team members. He swapped off the gauntlets over to the sword, and a quick pickup from the red team and a follow-up. Tybo able to convert off that with the unarmed. He got the downlight into the ground pound, and Steve was able to connect with a side signature. Very quick damage put out onto Phazon. Phazon getting close to that kill percentage. Gotta be careful.
Lil Cap is doing a lot of work right now. He's done a lot of stomp combos. I think 3 in a row on a Stevenator. He's having a very tough time dealing with this hammer pressure from Lil Cap. You see him still putting it down. Stevenator trying to retaliate with his own, and he gets a nice half Russian Mafia off. A nice little Russian starter there to at least put some pressure onto Lil Cap, which is what he desperately needed to just relieve himself for a second. Nice throw as well to save Tybo from the upwards vector force. Yeah,
Tybo was going towards the sky. Steve just throwing a hammer down, but it's not going to last too long as Steve able to make sure that it's a trade on both. So Tybo goes down. Phazon's going to lose a stock as well. Steve trying to swap weapons. He threw away the sword, was looking for the hammer, but Phazon able to pick it up. A very even game on both sides.
Phazon trying to come in with the side sig onto Steve. Steve splitting Phazon off so Lil Cap cannot help him. Tybo a little scared, it looks like, to come in too close. But Stevenator, he knows he's got it unlocked. He's still on his first stock. For how much longer? I guess we'll find out, but he's still doing such a good job. Look at him dedicated to Lil Cap off stage, trying to find that early kill. The down sig almost got
Tybo. Yeah, that was a bit of a risky play. Just kind of hard reading that they were going to challenge above, but looking at the map so far, Phazon and Lil Cap haven't gone for those challenges. Instead, they've been going under, going into the interior channel, trying to utilize the entirety of the map. Meanwhile, Tybo does go down and is a 1-stock difference between the two teams. Tybo's going to have to really extend this final stock as neither Phazon or Lil Cap are really that close to kill percent. Oh no, Tybo! He does get the wall touch.
He's got to be careful. He has that neutral sig option that he could use to completely reverse the situation off stage. Stevenator doing a great job picking up that kill on the right side, though, onto Phazon and holding onto that second stock. He's going to need it. He's in the red, but as long as he can hold on to that stock right now against Phazon, avoid some damage. Tybo almost getting taken out. Phazon finding the kill at the top, and now Lil Cap looking to confirm it. Phazon with the ground pound reverse, too. He did the dash jump reverse ground pound off stage to in order to use that like vector direction that he can adjust with that gauntlet ground pound more, forward, which is why
you can have a little bit more forward movement with that ground pound. Gauntlet's only weapon that you can use those ground pounds. Meanwhile, Steve utilizing that hammer again, the stomp into the chase dodge recovery. He's really liking that in the 1v2 situation. Not sure what he's trying to convert off of it per se. Neither of them really in Russian Mafia spot as far as damage goes. But he's still really pushing it, trying to get those and get whatever damage he can off of that.
And Steve looking for opportunities, which is very difficult. He wants to kill on the Phazon because that's going to give him a much more equal playing field against Lil Cap, which then he can try to 1v1. But, I mean, still down a stock, that's going to be a very difficult opportunity for him. The black hole getting started, not finished, so that's going to give Stevenator a little bit more room. He's not quite in the red. He's on the cusp of it, but the follow-ups from Phazon and Lil Cap are coming out right now. This is a very dangerous game. Oh, nice dodge!
Through. Able to hold on to the stock for a little while. Weapon toss coming out. Phazon is in position, not able to connect with the ground pound. The neutral sig! bounces off the platform, sends Stevenator flying, and that is going to be all for Stevenator and Tybo. Phazon and Little Caps will continue on in the lower bracket.